Greetings, everyone. This is Rock and Roll Spot Connection with the Weekly Comic Book Roundup. We're at about the midway point, so let's get go. Let's get going. Kicking things off, we've got Avengers Beyond number 3. Where we left off, the Lost One had sent the Black Order, or had enlisted the Black Order and sent them to deal with the Avengers. So, at the moment, there's a planetary shield in place, and the Lost One is unable to get through. Tiamat, one of his lieutenants, is imprisoned in Avengers Mountain, while the Black Order has arrived with the intention of turning the planetary shield off. Captains Marvel and America are trying to figure out what's going on and why apparently Black Panther, Thor, Iron Man, and She-Hulk didn't arrive when they teleported to the mountain. So Captain Marvel goes after the Black Order, while Captain America gets in touch with Moon Girl. Hopes of maybe figure out why the rest of the Avengers didn't show up. So she's able to access their systems, while the Black Order, while Corvus Glaive fights Captain America. Captain Marvel deals with the remaining members of the Black Order. However, then the Avengers arrive. The rest of the Avengers arrive, I should say. And the tide of the battle turns. The Black Order is defeated, but the shield drops. The Lost One arrives, frees Tiamat, and Corvus Glaive reveals that the Black Order didn't deactivate the shield. The Avengers take on the Lost One and are promptly taken down. But it turns out that the Beyonders' plan wasn't about protecting the Earth, or fortifying the Earth even. It was about making a better prison. And the issue ends with Beyonder in orbit in space, hovering above the Earth, apologizing. Somehow, I'm not that surprised that the Beyonder betrayed them, but, well, you kind of always hope for the best, you know? I am still enjoying the miniseries. I think it's a 5-issue miniseries, so yeah, let's see how it all wraps up. Moving on, though, to our next book, we've got Captain America: Symbol of Truth, number 13. Where we left off in the Cold War crossover, Captains America, as well as Misty Knight and Sharon Carter, had gone into Dimension Z to take on White Wolf, the Winter Soldier, as well as rescue Nomad. Though Black Widow has somewhat aligned herself with Winter Soldier in a more observer role. And a trap has been triggered when the captains and their allies arrived. A trap which seemingly has taken down both Misty and Sharon. Seeing this, Sam demands that Steve stop. Basically, Steve is very much determined to rescue Nomad, but Sam points out that their allies are hurt, and that maybe Steve's not exactly thinking clearly, leading to a fight between the captains. Steve may Steve does go for some low blows when it comes to protecting the people that Cap and Cap both love, or each love, I should say. Um, but once the fight once the fight's over, Sam goes back to Misty and Sharon. Though Sharon points out, or I think Misty points out that the trap they sprang, it looks like it looks like it's still trapping. But apparently, White Wolf wanted Nomad to watch both Captain America become food for the White Wolf's hounds. And that is where the issue ends. So I have to admit, when I first heard about this crossover, I was afraid it was going to be a Cap versus Cap kind of thing. And when it started off not being that, I was rather pleased. When this issue was initially solicited, I was a little perturbed because, well, great. Now we're in the Cap versus Cap moment. Great. But it was handled a lot better than I expected it to be. Um, the momentary fight between the two made sense. But overall, I'm enjoying the story, and so yeah. Cold War's got 2 more issues to go. Be next this month's issue of Central Liberty, as well as Omega One Shot. But moving on though to our next book, we've got Alien #2. Where we left off. The research crew team on LV-695 has just been informed that the company that they were working for, Talbot Engineering Incorporated, has just been bought by Weyland-Yutani. And Weyland-Yutani is there to get the research team to basically assess the research being conducted there and see if it's worth continuing. Though it seems they've already decided that the planet is definitely worth further investigation. Ice shelf is broken, or gets shattered, and a hive of xenomorphs are discovered. Active xenomorphs. This particular Weyland-Yutani team runs back to their hoppers to make it back to the base. Meanwhile, the former Talbot engineering scientist's daughter has gotten loose in the complex, along with a recently thawed-out facehugger. One of the Weyland-Yutani troops is going throughout the building trying to find her, and catches up to her. But the facehugger gets loose and, gives Homeboy a hug on his face. The research team's heading back to base. Comms are apparently down. But one of the xenomorphs has hitched a ride and attacks first the second hopper, then the first one. The security teams are told not to worry because they're needed elsewhere in the base. And the The resident scientist is being interrogated by a Willie Johnny executive. And he explains that, if she doesn't tell them what about her research, they're going to take it anyway. And also inquire. And does kind of point out why is she holding out. Play ball, and she'd do very well, unless she's hiding something, or some unsanctioned experiments. Some more of the security forces find the downed member of the security team, along with the now dead facehugger, and the obligatory chestburster moment. And wild gunfire causes an explosion in the facility. And the rest of the hive heads towards the explosion. And that is where the issue ends. Definitely an interesting arc. On story-wise, I've loved all of the Alien arcs thus far from Marvel. Art-wise, I'm especially fond of this one so far. The previous arc was also quite good art-wise. A step up from the first arc. But anyway, moving on to our next book, we've got Dr. Aphra, number 32. Where we left off, Aphra kidnapped Luke Skywalker. Not for a bounty or anything, just because, but, her reasons are explained in this issue. So, in the Outer Rim, aboard the Archangel 4, Aphra explains that she found she's got a lead on an ancient Force artifact, and she needs a Force-sensitive person to help her find it. And to keep R2 from causing her any problems, she put a restraining bolt on him and shut him down. So, Luke offers to help. Aphra's dangled just the right bait in front of him, and they head to the planet of Sasson. There are turbulent storms on the planet, and Luke basically uses the Force to guide them through the storms to a temple, which is kind of, sort of singing to him. But they land, but as Luke's trying to open the temple, once again with the Force being in flux, he can't. He explains this to Aphra, and she kind of puts two and two together, that the same thing that affected him, or that affected Vader back during the end of Crimson Empire, or Hidden Empire, is affecting Luke as well. But there are, of course, guardians at the temple which arise. Luke does what he can to stave them off, while Aphra shuts them down with a well-timed blaster bolt. But they trigger a trap, falling into a pool, and when they come out, they're faced with two Jedi, Aayla Secura and Shakti. This is especially odd, seeing as how Aayla Secura was definitively killed during Order 66. Shakti, her fate has been much less clear. There have been multiple points post episode 3 that pointed to that multiple scenarios, but nothing definitively canon that stated when and or how she died. So yeah, but that is where the issue ends. Interesting. I am very curious. I don't figure it's actually Ayla Secura and Shakti. Probably just holograms of them or something. But we'll find out next issue, I guess. Moving on, though, to our next book, we've got Starros, number 4. Where we left off, Sana's grandmother had been taken by bounty hunters. However, an old ally of Sana's, Deva Lompa, also an ally of just the Starros family in general, they're looking for answers and trying to, figure out what the hell's going on. It does discussing the bounty. It does seem like maybe it's not that legit. With everyone feeling like, with Sana, her aunt, and Deva, kind of all feeling like it's maybe a trap. Meanwhile, Sana's brother is interrogating their cousin, as he's an Imperial. She calls him a traitor to their family, but he basically explains that Sana abandoned him to go to the university, and without her, he was lost. No one cared when he fell in with a bad crowd, or when he was arrested. His family abandoned him. But the Imperials gave him a chance. They cared when none of the rest of the family would. Worked hard to earn his commission. He's not a traitor. He's a loyal patriot. And he tries to get his cousin to flip on the rest of the family, but she doesn't. Sana, her aunt, and Deva make their way to Hanestia. Though Deva points out that Sana's a little high-strung and basically insists on having her let off some steam by the two of them fighting. It kind of works, but it kind of doesn't. With Sana kind of explaining that she's all as high-strung and tightly wound. It's kind of how she always is. They find the grandma, but it is a trap. The Imperials are there. Bit of a gunfight, and of course, Sana's brother arrives, taking their grandma into custody as well as their aunt. And while he's about to kill Sana, but Deva jumps in the way, taking the shot. Grandma and aunt here are put into the same room as cousin, whose water just broke. And that is where the issue ends. Definitely been an interesting tale so far. Sana is definitely a character that has been growing on me since I started reading Marvel's Star Wars books. She's a fun little. She makes for a fun supporting character, Dr. Aphra. It's nice to see a miniseries focused on her. Anyway, that is going to do it for now. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Links to my Facebook, Twitter, Patreon, and PayPal can be found in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off, saying, live long and rock hard.